Shalom, this is Mary Omni from the house of King David, and this is in reference to gay marriage. President Obama endorsed personally gay marriage in 2012. Many of his supporters who are Black Americans came out and also supported President Obama's support of gay marriage. Don't mean that they believed in it personally, and whether they did or not, that's on them. All I want to do is let you understand that this is Mary Omni from the house of King David, the woman of Galatians 4:4, the woman of the law. And as the woman of the law, there's no such thing as gay marriage in the Holy Covenant Constitution. And there is no negotiations for it. There's no gay marriage amendment. Okay? I don't have to, and it ain't about whether or not I am homophobic, anti-gay, or anything. It has nothing to do with constitutionality in the country of the United States of America. The Constitution has no provisions. It has nothing to do with no gay marriage. The 14th Amendment produces all persons born. Therefore, if gays trying to say that they want to use this 14th for their civil unions and and their gay marriages, they are saying, in essence, that they know that the 14th have nothing to do with them because the 14th produces all persons born. And 2 women can't produce all persons born. And 2 men can't produce all persons born. While most of the world thinks they can do what they want to do behind closed doors is their business, they want to call you homophobic when you want to conclude that it's not in the covenant. It don't have nothing to do with being homophobic. I don't care what you do, but I'm just saying the black 14th infant is non-consented. He's not to finance your 1,100 more benefits for your so-called gay marriage and your civil unions. This outright trampling of the black infant and using gay marriage in the 21st century as the excuse is the most satanic atrocity that I've seen of arrogance yet. And like I said before, who cares what you do behind closed doors? Who cares if you swear to each other? Who cares what you do? But I'm telling you, you don't have no right to trample the black infant to do it. You don't have no right to demand his birthrights to do it. The 14th been non-consented since 1868. And in corporate doctrine, contracts cannot supreme the Constitution of all persons born. 2 black women, 2 black men, 2 white men, 2 black women, 1 black man, 1 white man, 1 black woman, 1 white woman cannot produce all persons born. The 14th is an inherited amendment because 3/5 couldn't consent for it. It makes it a non-consented amendment. And I'm tired of government agencies trying to pretend that a marriage that produces all persons born don't exist in the Constitution. But then these same government agencies like the Veterans Administration and other things want to pretend that 2 men or 2 women are deserving of benefits, but you want to deny the black woman and her child when she has a military husband that'll produce the child with of all persons born the 14th. Blacks have been correct to be very wary of this because of Satan's last stand, and that's all it is. It's the Edomites, Gentiles, non-holy consenters, last stand for privilege. They done trampled and trampled and trampled and trampled, and they're in debt and debt and debt and debt and debt and debt. Who cares what they do behind closed doors? Who cares? Who cares? But the black infant don't owe them their 14th to do it. They're anti the black infant. They got a phobia about the black infant maintaining his birthrights. They got a phobia about the black infant breathing. They got a phobia about the black infant benefiting from his birthrights. They got a phobia about blacks not being trampled. They got a phobia of blacks' civil rights not being black civil rights. They got a phobia of black constitutionality not supreming them. They got a phobia of black being able to enjoy their 400-year human capital investment. They got a phobia of God humanity. They got a phobia of God. They clarity. They got a phobia that their white skin ain't going to be all she wrote anymore. They got a phobia. They got a phobia because for decades, nobody cared what they did behind closed doors. It's only when they try to pretend that the Holy Covenant, the Constitution, endorses them along with their in corporate doctrine, state sponsors, and judges. They also got a phobia that blacks going to wake up to their God status. They got a phobia that they can't trample the black infant, continue to trample the black infant by 400 million. They got a phobia that they can't murder the black infant off. They got a phobia that they can't mix the black infant Holy Covenant, 14th biblical heirs birthright with their dung and semen. They got a phobia foaming at the mouth that they can't practice their Ku Klux Klan in a different way. They got a phobia. So blacks, you was right to understand they got a phobia. Don't let them use this reverse psychology. President Obama did what he had to do. Because that whole Hollywood liberation, liberals, and all Hollywood is on your birthright. All these liberals. And most of the liberals, even though they not gay, wanted that white privilege to go on. So they stood with the gays. And that 40% wouldn't have voted for President Obama if President Obama didn't go ahead and go along with it. And so in order to overthrow Babylon on itself, he had to do that just like Christ had to deal with Satan. He had to go to hell. So keep it in perspective, in that perspective. And understand the truth of it. The black 14th and the black infant should not be financing no gay marriage, and all civil rights legislation has been non-consented since 1866. So do the 14th Amendment. So you don't have no equality rights under your corporate doctrine contracts. You contract with the mule, and the mule is non-consented. So it only defecates you out as dung. And yeah, and your dung abominations, President Obama gave you over to and said you could do anything in your dung abominations. But I'm telling you now, all government agencies, you are constitutional property on constitutional land. And your first priority is constitutional citizens who produce all persons born. And all top heads of all these agencies will be preemptively owned and all their property confiscated if they call themselves giving gay people trampling the 14th, the Constitution, more benefits to trample. In their corporate doctrine, inferior contracts. These are mostly foreigners anyway. This is Mary Omni from the House of King David. Shalom. Now, how did you like that?